Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Before starting my video, if you didn't subscribe my channel, please do, and do not forget to turn on notifications because I'm sharing great contents for you all the times. Alright, in this video we're going to do some refactoring because our controllers containing all the codes, so we need to move those codes in a service, so it's going to help us improve the readability for our application. Okay, let's have a look our invoice controllers. I don't remember where I left, so I'm gonna collapse all definitions and let's have a look step by step. So this is alright, there is no need to improvement. Okay, we have something here and we have memory cache. Okay, I'm gonna move all cache operations to our services, and we have lots of codes here. Okay, I'm not gonna look all of them. Just let's go our services, and we have invoice API services, client and invoice services here. I can create another service inside invoice services, but I would like to make another folder. Okay, let's add new folder, cached operation service. Okay, I'm gonna create two different services for cached operation. Add class cached operation service. Okay, we're going to have same name with the folder. I'm gonna change the name of the folder. Let's change the namespace with the services, and let's change the name, this folder name. Perfect, it's alright. Now what I'm gonna do is create another file which is going to be interface cached operations service. Alright, perfect. Let's come here now. Let's cached operations. Why I couldn't find it? Okay, I'm just gonna copy and paste the name of the file. Easy way. Yep. Alright. Now let's have a look. What do we need? So we need memory cache. Yep. We need a product service. Alright. All I need to, this is my product service, this is my memory cache. Do I need an invoice? Probably we're going to get the invoice service as well. I'm gonna get all of them to my cached service. Alright. Let's create a constructor now for 3 of them. Perfect. Let's have a look now. Okay, so first service method is going to create invoice for company. Okay, let's copy this name. Let's create public. What is the return value? Is okay. Let me have a look to return value. What should be the return value? Cached invoice for invoice create detail. So the return value is invoice create detail. Let me have a look. Yep, invoice create detail. Invoice create detail, and the name of the method is create invoice for company. Oh, not you. Here we go. Yep. Let's open and close parentheses. Do we need any parameter? Integer client ID. Let's take this and implement here. This is our method. Now I'm going to copy all the codes and I'm going to amend when I paste here. Alright. Perfect. So string cache key. By the way, I write this wrong. Memory cache. Yeah, let's fix the name. Not you. Yeah, I guess all done. Okay, this is the product service. So we have an invoice create DTO. We can implement this list to invoice create DTO. So this is the product list, right? Let's have a look. Do we have any product list here? We don't have. I'm just thinking, should I add this list to invoice create DTO? We can do, but we also can do something different thing. This is invoice create DTO. Okay. What if I add here? Okay, by the way, I'm going to clean this text. We don't need those anymore. Alright, let's add prop public. I'm gonna close this for a second. What is the return value of this one? Product list view model. Okay, we're returning list, right? So it's going to be, let's make it I read only collection. Let's say product list. Product list is a view model, right? Let me have a look one more time. Product list view model, return value is product list view model. Perfect. Let's say product list. Alright, anything else should I do? I'm assuming no. Now I'm going to delete these. Instead of assigning these data to a VBAC, I'm gonna add it to my V model, right? So I need this method in my controller anyway, so I'm gonna delete it here. I don't need it here. Alright, so we have a cache key. We have check true false options. What is the true false options? Why? I'm gonna check this true false options. I guess let's have a look. Yeah, so I'm gonna delete it now. So we have a result here. So memory cache target value. Alright, if cache invoice is null, we're going to return a new file. If it's not null, we're going to return cached invoice anyway. So we're going to return a cache invoice anyway. Alright, perfect. So the return value is going to be here, cached invoice, right? Perfect. It seems it's correct. So we can check the result if it's true or false. If cache is null, it means this is a false. We have a false here, so I don't need it. So I don't need to assign a value because I'm using cache invoice. I don't need true false, but I'm not checking it. I'm assuming everything is now correct. What is this one? Use compound assignment. Let's have a look. Yeah, if cached invoice null, we're going to assign this value. This is much more readable method. You can use Visual Studio IntelliSense, or yeah, it's going to be really helpful for you. Okay, it's all done. Now I'm going to add this method to my interface. Let's copy this section. Let's go to interface. Where's my interface? Why I couldn't open it? Yeah, here we go. Interface is all done. Let's save everything. Now let's go to controller now. Now I'm gonna delete these 3 of them, but not to get a crash. I'm gonna keep them. I'm gonna delete when I finish my everything. Now let's add our new interface. I cached operation service, cached data. Let's add this parameter to our constructor. It is added here. All I need to delete this and delete this and cached invoice, cached data, get invoice. Where's my method? No, it's not get. I guess create invoice for company. Yep, client ID. Perfect. Yep. Now it's much more simple, easy to read. If we need to see what's happening, create invoice for company, just go back to service and you can see what's happening in this section. And yeah, I was thinking to make some changes on invoice create DTO. Let's have a look again. Yeah, we have an invoice create DTO. We can delete this. Okay, I'm gonna show you how can be done, but I'm not gonna apply it because it's gonna take too much time to amend everything. I'm just trying to save some time. Instead of adding viewback, as you can see, let's go invoice create DTO. I add another data here. You can use this data and assign your cached invoice dot product list. Yep, you can assign this data like this, and you can take your data from your model using this method. It's easy, but I'm not gonna change it. I'm just gonna continue using VBAC. But at least you know how can you approach with the different ways while you're creating your own project. Okay, let's continue. So the next one is add product to list. So we have, let's continue. We have a product service get all items. I'm just trying to remember what I've done here. So we have an invoice item. We're receiving a product. Yeah, we find the product. Then we add this product to our invoice. We're converting it to invoice item. Then we bring our data here. And then we are changing our data and the cache operation. Okay, I'm gonna take all of them. Let's make a control X. So let's take this. Oh, sorry. Let's create the method first. Second method is public. The return value. What was the return value? Sorry, it is my fault. Okay, our return value is a JSON, so we are returning a boolean, true or false. Right? Yeah. Is that correct? Yeah. Just returning true or false. Why are we just returning true or false? Because the operation is kind of a void operation. It does the job and returning if it's true or false. Okay, so return is going to be a boolean. Public bool and the name of add product to list. We have a lots of parameters here. Let's copy all of them. Let's add them here. Let's open our curly brackets. I'm gonna fix the naming add product list. Let's copy all the codes located in controller. I'm gonna use control X. I'm gonna take all of them to my service. Now, okay, all done. If product null, we can throw an error. Okay, and I'm gonna show you the different way to using nullable. So I'm gonna delete this. Okay, if you put just 2 question mark, it means if we have a null object as a result of these methods, we're going to use the method after those question marks. So I'm gonna use throw, for example, argument null exception. Okay, let's say product with given ID is not exist. All right, you can create your own mapper exceptions, whatever you need. I'm not gonna try to fix all exceptions, all the validations, all the project, because I'm not gonna focus on this. We already done all of them in our MVC project. If you're wondering how you can create your exceptions, how can you manage your project, how can you add validations, how can you add exceptions, everything, they all I show all of them in my MVC project, guys. You just need to go back my MVC project playlist and you can watch all of them. I'm just gonna focusing here how can we create an API consumer project. Okay, let's continue refactoring our code. So if we have a null object, we're going to throwing a new argument null exception here. Now then it's all done, we got our product. Let's create invoice item. It's all created here. Perfect. Then we creating our cache k invoice create draft. This is the same, this is the same, so we don't need to replicate our codes. I'm going to create a constant here. Let's say private string const cache k. Oops. Cache k is going to be, what's the problem is okay, give me a second, let me try to finish this. Okay, where's my cache k? This is my cache k. Okay, I'm using a variable client ID here, so it won't be okay, so I'm gonna delete it. I changed my mind because we have a variable as a cache k. We're using client ID. Let's keep it as it is for now. If something came to mind, I'm gonna change it later. Alright, so memory cache, we need to change the naming, which is still the old one. So we have a result. We are not using result, we are checking cache invoice is null or not. Perfect. So all done, we're assigning everything and we're creating our options and return value. If everything is done, return value is going to be true. Anything else? Let me think for a second. We're throwing an exception here, but the main problem is this is going to be a JSON value. If we throw an exception, it can be a problem. So I'm going to return false here. It's going to be a better option, I think. Yeah, let's switch this exception to return false. Actually, instead of bool, I'm going to return a string data. If it's true, it's going to be empty. If it's false, we have a data in it. So it's going to help us using just string method instead of boolean, and we're able to send the message itself as well. Let's, if it's null, return instead of boolean, I'm going to return a string data and I'm going to return this error message. And if it's true, I'm going to return string empty. Yep, perfect. Anything else should I do here? Perfect. Let's go back our controller. So it was a test one, I was testing it. So we have a data. Actually, I'm going to make a result again. So I'm just sending the result itself. That's it. Okay, let's go to create invoice view. I'm going to catch the error as well here because it's really important in catching errors. I'm not gonna add all error section for my old Ajax, but I'm just letting you know, just catch the error just in case, not to break your application. Alright, keep the error using this function response. Actually, we're catching errors xhr status and error, and open your brackets, just alert or you can use your toaster, but now I'm just adding console log dot log xhr dot response text for developer information. It's not user friendly thing, but if you want these error messages user friendly, just in case, you can use a toaster message and you can send this, show the error message to the user. But I'm going to just dealing with the user client-side exceptions which we are creating. Okay, so if we have a success, which is, as you can see, we have let me see, we're returning these error messages and these empty string as a success method, but we're going to eliminate which one is success, which one is fail. So I'm going to add an if log. Okay, response, if it's equal empty, so we have nothing, string, it means string empty, so it means it's true, so we don't have any problem with it. So let's add it here. If not, else. Let's see the error messages on our screen, then we can add our toaster message later. I'm gonna add here response. Okay, let's try to receive an error message, but before that I'm gonna fix a couple of things while I was trying. Okay, it's going to be just string. This is interface, because we are returning string anymore. And let's add a random number, then we're going to get error message now. Let's save everything, let's run the application and see the result, what is going to be happen here. All right, let's go clients, get all clients, create invoice. Let's inspect, let's open our DevTools. This is our console. Let's try to add a data, add product. As you can see, we received the error messages perfectly. All right, let's close everything. Let's bring our code back. Yeah, full saved. Okay, I'm assuming everything is correct here. Memory cache, everything we did. Okay, perfect. Let's continue with the next step. When we finished everything, we're going to go through our AJAX request. We're going to add our error messages. We're going to add our toaster messages. We're going to fix everything step by step. Let's continue. Invoice controller. Next one, remove product from list. Okie dokie. Let's go our services, but I'm gonna copy just all method signature. And where's my cache operation service? Okay, collapse all definitions. Now I'm going to add, well, return value is going to be again JSON. So we have, let me have a look. I'm going to use same thing what I did with the add product is I'm going to use a string method, string object type. Where's my, okay, let's use string again. Open our parentheses. Let's get everything from here and paste all codes here. Perfect. So we have a string cache key. Let's fix the naming. Memory cache. We are trying to get the data. If it's null, as you can see, we're receiving exceptions. Instead of null, I'm going to return. Okay. So actually, this is not a client-side exception. We can send a real exception, or we can return this value as well. I'm going to use this one. let's say cached data. Actually, we need to return this one. This is not user exception. We need to return an exception. Throw new client side. Oops, not you. Client side exceptions. Internal server errors. Or we can give much more friendly invoice, cached invoice not found. And this error message can help both developer and the user. Do we have any user? If it's null, so I can use if it's false as well. We don't need to use it. Okay, if it's null, we're going to send this error messages. If it's not null, we're using everything normally. Return. Actually, we're trying to remove the product, right? We find the data. Where is the index? Okay, we're sending the index. Alright, I see now. Okay, return string empty. We do the same things again. Oops. Okay, let's copy this signature to interface. Let's go to controllers. Or result cache data dot remove product from product list, and we're going to return the result itself. Oops, what happened here? What? Just copy and paste, man. Just copy and paste. Yeah, that's it. Alright, let's save everything. Should I do anything else? All I need to is test it now. Okay, we need to change the remove settings as well. Okay, I'm going to copy all of things. Are those the same method? Invoice create invoice for company, client ID, model client ID. Okay, I'm gonna copy all changes what we did here. Control V, perfect. Let's give a fake data to receive an error messages. Cached invoice, if it's null, I'm gonna make it just true. This time we're going to get error message, right? And we're going to take these client side exceptions in our section. All we need to do is, if we have an error, we're going to make a console and internal server error. We can return these two error together. So we're going to return this message to user. We're going to keep this message for the developer so both of them can understand what's happening on behind. Let's run the application and see both of them. Alright, let's go. Lines, create invoice. This time we need to create one. Add product, okay. Inspect, console. Now I'm going to remove the item. When I click it, as you can see, we throw an exception. Continue. We received an error messages, but we couldn't see the other one. Let me have a look quickly. Here. Console log. Okay, I'm gonna show this one first, then the other one. Why we couldn't show the error message here? Okay, let's update it. Alright, let's click this one again. Cache invoice not found. Okay, so we're not able to receive the data. Let me have a look quickly. XHR, did we do something wrong here? Am I incorrect placing my product from the list? Yeah, we are incorrect placed error function. Status XHR response text. Why we couldn't come inside here? Invoice, remove product from list. Invoice from list. I'm gonna put a breakpoint here. Okay, and try one more time. Let's go to console. Yeah, try to remove it. Yep, we are here. F10, F10, receive the exception. Let's continue. But why I couldn't catch this? This is the internal server error message. Okay. Okay, let's use our logs like this, but I just seen that. Let's make this small e, maybe it can cause not to receive our error messages. Let's save everything and make another try. This is our exception. Let's continue. Okay, this is the exception comes from our response text, and this is our internal server error. Perfect, we were catching all of them, so we can make it Control Z. Perfect, it is working as well. So we're going to change these console logs later. Let's keep as it is for now. Let's go with the next endpoint, send invoice API. So do we have any memory cache? Perfect. We can return a success message. Okay, let's have a look what we've done here. So we have result here. If it's not false and cache invoice is, if it's false and it is null, so we're throwing an exception here. Okay, this is going to be same as before what we did, and cache invoice date is going to be assigned here. It's the result API request, and we are removing the cache key, and so we're returning to the main page. Okay, create invoice, this containing our HTTP request for API, so we can use this logic here as well. Yeah, let's add it. Result API request if it's false, or what kind of result? Oh, okay, we have an invoice create DTO. Yep. Are we going to use this invoice create DTO? We can use it. Okay. Okay, let's keep it then. Just a second. We can return a success message. Yeah, correct. We can use the ID of the object, ID of the invoice, or the as a success message. First of all, let's catch the error. If it's null, it means we have a problem, right? Let's have a look at create invoice async inside. Let's go to implementation. Okay, so if we have a failed, we're throwing exception. So we are returning always if we have data, so we don't need to check if it's false or something. So we have a result API request here. It's okay then. Perfect. And we can, I'm going to add this message here, because if we add our toaster message, we can add it here. I'm gonna keep it here. Okay, add toaster message. When we come to add toaster message to all application, we can add it here. Perfect. Now I'm going to, let's take this here, because I'm going to take all of them to the service. First of all, let's take this one. Where's my operative? Yeah. And the return value is, what was the return value? Let me have a look quickly. Actually, this return is, let me have a look, void. We're returning nothing. But for the return message, we can return a string value. For example, we can return the invoice for this company has been created, for example. Okay, let's return a string return type, and let's bring all data here now. Okay, let's fix the naming. What's the problem here? So we have an async method, so let's make it async task. It's all done, and return value is going to be, let's say, use a string interpolator, double quote, and so this is a invoice create detail, right? The invoice number, or the invoice, let's say number, the API request dot invoice. Do we have any invoice number or just pure numbers? Invoice date, client ID. Okay, pure numbers has been created for result API request dot, is there any company, client ID? Do we have just client ID, right? Don't have anything. Okay, I'm just gonna make it has been created successfully. Okay, this is our return value. Perfect. Send invoice API. So this is going to be async method, and I'm gonna make it async. Okay, I'm gonna copy all signature for my interface. Let's go back to controller now. Var, oops, sorry, let's make it var result cache data dot send invoice to API cache k. Perfect. We are sending cached invoice client ID as well, so we need a client ID, right? Let's go back. I'm gonna make it tuple then, string message and integer ID. This is our message. I'm gonna make it message client ID. Let's put a comma, result API request client ID. All done. Let's make it much more readable. I'm gonna press enter. Yeah, it's much more readable now. So we're returning this data. Let's amend our interface as well. All done. Let's go back to controller. So we have two data, string message and integer client ID. So I'm going to return result.client ID. Okay, we need to use await. Yep, client ID, and I need to return, and it's telling us IntelliSense you're using the same naming for your variable. You can delete it. I'm just going to delete it. And the other one is we're going to use the message for here, result.message. Okay, we're going to use this result message later. Let's save it for now. All done. Send invoice API has been created. Let me continue with delete draft invoice. How many do we have? We got a lot. Alright, it's been 40 minutes. We completed 1, 2, 3, 4, and we left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'm gonna do one more, and I'm gonna continue the other 5 for the other lesson. Okay, let's do delete draft invoice as well. I'm going to copy and paste all data, all method signature to my service. Okay, do we need any message or something? Yep, it's better to give a message, so let's copy this one. Perfect. All right. Now I will go back to the draft invoice. So we're just deleting the cache key. Yeah, we're just deleting the cache key. Yeah, correct. Okay, so all we need to do is copy this one. I'm going to, we don't need to, by the way, we don't need to add this to services because this is all done. Get all invoices from a company client ID. All we need to do is taking the memory cache. Okay, I'm gonna take this one. If it's just one method, it doesn't matter because we are using a pattern here. I'm not gonna break it. Delete draft invoice. We don't need an async. Let's return string again. Delete this. Should I return a message? Yeah, it's better to return message. Invoice console. Okay, perfect. We're going to return a message again. Return, let's say, draft is deleted. Yeah, draft invoice is deleted. That's why we created this method, I'm assuming. Delete draft invoice. Yeah. All right, let's take this string to our, where's my, yep, here we go. Var result cache data, delete draft invoice, perfect. We have a result here. It's done, and we're receiving all invoices. If it's count 0, we're returning here. Okay, I'm gonna make it if the count, actually I'm not gonna use that one. I'm gonna use curly brackets. Let's take this and actually for both of them I just need to give my message here. So I'm gonna give a one message. It's going to be sent for all type of returns. Yeah, this is the place where we're going to return our toaster messages. draft deleted. It's going to be result. Just going to be result. It's just a string data. Perfect. Let's save it. We're going to make it later again. Delete draft invoices completed. Alright guys, I'm assuming you understand why we are doing these refactoring things. We're just making clear everything and making our project much more readable. If you look your project, if you would like to do some changes after 1 year or 2 years later, you should understand what you've done before, and you can make your changes easily before any interruption and conflicts and confusing. Alright guys, take care of yourself. Thank you. Thanks for watching my video. If you like the video, I will be really appreciated. It really motivates me and it is bringing my video to the upper list, and it's really important for me to create new content guys. Take care of yourself. See you and bye bye.